Hello, welcome back. Yes, a special edition of the pre-order videos. Today we talk about the record store day, which will take place on April the 22nd. Funny thing though is that on the same day there will be the huge amazing record, the huge amazing Den Bosch record fair, the probably largest used records fair in the world. And for me personally, this is the way more interesting event, and so I will attend over there. And of course, one of the most important reasons I go over there is that I will probably meet some amazing people. Can't wait for that one. So for me, this record store day is not a record store day, it's a Den Bosch day. But still, it may make sense that we go through the titles that are announced for this record store day. Quite a list. I have 10 pages here. I worked a bit through this list, and this is more or less mentioning of the, in my opinion, most interesting releases, and not going very deep into them because it's just too much. That being said, let's get right into it. Allman Brothers Band, Syria Mosque, Pittsburgh, double LP from the Allman Brothers Band Recording Company, probably a live concert that might be of some interest. Another one, Albert Ayler, Europe 1966. Albert Ayler, quite an interesting artist, of course, may be a very interesting release. Another interesting release is Chet Baker, Blue Room, the 1979 Vara Studio Sessions in Holland. Yeah, double album again. Another one, completely different area, Björk, the Fossora remixes. What I like about those and what makes me think about them is that it's on this one little independent records label who puts out quite beautiful Björk releases. Then a Black Keys release, live at Beachland Tavern, March the 31st, 2002 on Nonsuch. This might also be a cool one. Again, one of those jazz live records. They put out tons of them at Record Store Day. This time Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers live at the Jazz Workshop in 1970. You know, if those are interesting titles, depends of course on your point of view. For me, it's a bit too much by now. Blur, interesting one. Blur present the special collector's edition on Parlophone double album. And then, very interesting release, because to my knowledge, this is the first time that you can get the whole set. It's David Byrne, the complete score from Catherine Wheel on Rhino double album. Terry Collier, Hidden Conversations. Terry Collier came to my attention through the latest ERC release. Amazing. Can't Heat, vintage. Not bad, not uninteresting. Then a Miles Davis release. I just want to mention it for all those Miles Davis hardcore fans. Turnaround, unreleased rare vinyl from On the Corner on Legacy Columbia. Then, interesting combination, interesting collaboration. The Dirty Projectors and Björk. Mount Wittenberg Orca Expanded Edition on Domino record. Double album. Dirty Projectors, if I'm not mistaken, you find their releases mostly on the Erased Tapes label, which is an amazing label. And this might be a very interesting thing. Dirty Projectors and Björk. Then, due to the artist Eric Dolphy, Musical Prophet, the expanded 1963 New York studio sessions on Resonance, 3 LP album. Interesting choice. Interesting choice for sure. My problem with the Resonance records on Record Store Day is the jacket quality. I think they should improve on that. Also because those releases aren't that cheap. So please improve the jackets. But this one, not bad. Then something, The Doors. Break on through to the other side. Love Her Madly, Hello, I Love You. From Rhino, 3-inch record. And you can buy the Doors limited edition Record Store Day 3-inch mini turntable. It's funny. It's funny. Okay. Amazon Lake and Palmer, Brain Salad Surgery on BMG. Then, of course, our notorious 3LP Bill Evans live concert, this time trio and orchestra in Denmark, 1965 to 1969. Yeah, and you know, I have 4 of them now, and somehow enough is enough. Nice release from A Flock of Seagulls, Rare Birds, A Flock of Seagulls, B-sides, edits and alternate mixes for those 80s guys and girls. Probably a nice one. And of course another Grateful Dead box set, Boston Garden, Boston, Massachusetts, on the 5th of July 1977, 5LP box set. And again, what I said for those obscure or those archival live jazz recordings, I now have 4 of those Record Store Day box sets. I have the huge one they put out. And as I'm not such a deadhead, enough is enough for me. Howling Wolf, live and cooking at Alice's Revisited. Husker Du, double album, Tonight Longhorn. Then we have a Blue Note Record Store Day release, Nora Jones, Little Broken Hearts, live at Allaire Studios. John Lennon gives us a 9-album, 10-inch box set, Gimme Some Truth. London Grammar, If You Wait, 10th anniversary edition on Legacy. Yeah? London Grammar, not bad. Of course, I love this guy, I love his music. This one really also interests me. Ennio Morricone, Senza Sapere. Motorhead, Lost Tapes Volume 4, live in Heilbronn, 1984. BMG double album. And of course, I wonder if this is only a Record Store Day release. Nena, 99 Luftballons, 40th anniversary edition on BMG. Stevie Nicks, Belladonna live on Rhino, double album. Nico, live at the Library Theatre, 1980. Then a very interesting collaboration again. We have The Orb featuring Lee Scratch Perry, The Upsetter and the Starhouse Session. Cooking Vinyl is the label. Nice one too now. Pixies, Doolittle, live in Brussels. We got the Pokes, the Stiff Records, B-sides. Then a guilty pleasure of mine. From Chrysalis Records, double album. Suzy Quattro. Collaboration, Max Roach and Archie Shepp, Force, Sweet Mao, South Africa, they write South Africa, 1976, as a French import, double album. Rolling Stones, Beggar's Banquet on Epco. Sigur Rós, Kwaikur, double album. Sisters of Mercy, yeah, some independent music. Sisters of Mercy, The Reptile House on Rhino. Quite something. Great record. Soul Asylum, MTV Unplugged, double album on Legacy. Two beautiful titles from Friday music. 2 times The Sparks. One Sparks self-titled and a woofer in a tweeter clothing. Cool. Donna Summer, another 40th anniversary edition on Demon from the UK, double album, A Hot Summer Night. Sun Ra, Haverford College, January the 25th, 1980. Then an interesting collaboration once more, Sun O and Boris, Alta. Of course, our notorious Tangerine Dream, I hope it's not a picture disc. Tangerine Dream, live in Paris, Palais de Congrès, 3-disc album. The fantastic Kate Tempest, Nice Idea, Republic Records. Last but not least, UFO, While the Last Man Standing, Turn Out the Light, Chrysalis, double album. So those are the titles that stood up for me on this year's record store day list that came out yesterday. So this is of course a first impression. Didn't dig, I can't tell you which one is, as far as possible, is an all analog release, which is digital, which has an extremely beautiful packaging or stuff like that. This is just a heads up. What's announced now? What can we get on the 22nd of April? It of course depends on the country. I think 3 days later. You can also get them online, and yeah, as you may know, I like the record store day in a way, but I don't get that excited here in Germany, because here it is quite different. And in my personal opinion, they do it now since 2007, I think. Some of those releases are a bit generic. You get them everywhere. You get your Bill Evans 3-album live concert, you get your Dead box set. Yeah, of course it makes sense, because I can imagine they sell a ton of them. So in that regard, it makes sense. But how many do you need? That's for everybody to decide by himself, right? Okay, thank you for your time. I hope I see you tomorrow on the live stream with Angelo Kelly about his record release. And thank you for your time. Bye.